Hello, welcome to Dungeon Drawers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, like I promised, though I won't be able to upload this till like Monday morning. It's really late. I finished watching The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the extended edition, which was 3 hours and I think 55 minutes, like way longer than the first one. The movie is directed by Peter Jackson, came out in 2002, starring Elijah Wood as Frodo, Ian McKellen returns as Gandalf, Liv Tyler as Arwen, Miranda Otto as Eowyn, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, who you fucking find out in the movie is like 80 years old. It's like, what the hell? You got Sean Astin as Samwell Gamgee, Clay Blanchett as Gadriel, John Rhys-Davies as Gimli, Bernard Hill as Fieldin, Christopher Lee as Saruman, Billy Boyd as Pippin, Dominic Monaghan as Merry, Orlando Bloom as Legolas, Hugo Weaving as Elrond, David Wenham as Faramir, Boromir'S Brother, Brad Dourif as Wormtongue, Carl Urban as Eomer, and you have Andy Serkis as Gollum. So this movie obviously is the sequel to Lord of the Rings. I gotta say, probably my favorite of the trilogy, right? Because you have the epic battle of Helm's Deep, which the story of the movie is. Oh, by the way, we're not playing Lord of the Rings: The Third Age because we got like a copyright claim because the game uses footage from the movie, right? So we didn't want to risk getting a copyright strike. I don't mind copyright claims, but I'd rather not risk getting a copyright strike, right? So yeah, the movie, it takes off right after the end of the first movie, where Sam and Frodo went off to Mordor. Pippin and Merry get kidnapped by orcs who are on their way to Isengard, right? Because they think Merry or Pippin might have the one ring. The one ring to rule them all. I have to quote that line every time I watch a Lord of the Rings movie. One ring to rule them all. Which I'm quoting Clerks 2, by the way, if you haven't seen Clerks 2. Awesome Lord of the Rings scene in that movie where Randall Graves just trashes Lord of the Rings so hard it made a nerd puke on the counter. Sorry, I need to refresh myself. Yeah, so like the movie starts off with Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli on the trail of Merry and Pippin, right? Who get luckily get saved, though their saviors don't know it. They get saved by Carl Urban's character, who's leading a band of warriors of Rohan, the Horse Lords, who kill the orc host that has Merry and Pippin. Which Merry and Pippin go into a cursed forest, not a cursed forest, but it's like a forest that's like notorious for being super dangerous, where they meet up with Gandalf and meet the Ants, where are these giant humanoid trees who are tree shepherds who protect the trees, right? Who have a hate boner for like Saruman, right? Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas go looking for them. Get told that they were killed by they were accidentally killed by the Horse Lords when they attacked the orcs, which they pick up their trail, find them in the forest, meet Gandalf. Gandalf and Aragorn ride to Rohan, where one of Saruman's minions, Grima Wormtongue, which is played by Brad Dourif, who you'll know from Deadwood and the Chucky series, right? And he's even voicing the current Chucky in the TV show, right? Which I watched and I hated it. Who is mind controlling the king of Rohan, but like Gandalf the Grey, who's now Gandalf the White because he got resurrected, right, by the gods or whoever. He was sent back to finish the task of saving Middle Earth, right? Which you see the second half of the battle with the Balrog, where like they're fighting in this tower, right? Which is supposed to be underground, right? But it's like whatever, right? Where Gandalf actually defeats the Balrog, right? Sorry, I get the buttons mixed up, right? Oh my god, this game. This game really needed horses, man. Like, two things this game needed. Horses, and it would have been nice if the monsters showed up on the map. Which I think they didn't add horses, but they added, like, the monsters on the map for the 3DS version. Right? So, yeah, so, like, the basic story for this movie is basically you have Merry Pippin are with the ants trying to convince them to join the war to fight Saruman and his army, right? Which Saruman, after he loses control of Theoden, the king of Rohan, he has his army of Isengard attack Rohan, which the king decides to make a final stand in Helm's Deep, which is the castle, right? Where they're hopelessly outnumbered. They had to add, like, you know, children and old men into, like, you know, their ranks to, right? Which they end up getting, like, reinforced by the elves, right? Which was great. Also, yeah, there's some great battle scenes in this movie. Apparently, Arwen, who's like played by Liv Tyler, Steve Tyler's daughter, right, was supposed to be at like Helm's Deep, and they actually shot scenes of that, but like they took it out, right, which kind of sucked. I think they took it out because they wanted to, like, maybe, like, set up this, like, love story between, Aragorn. Oh, it's just easier if I just do it this way. Aragorn and, like, you know, Theoden's, like, niece, I think, or daughter-in-law. Yeah, like, his daughter-in-law, right? So, yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed the movie. There's great action scenes, I love some of the humor in the movie, right? Like how Merry and Pippin were able to, like, that Merry and Pippin, I totally forgot that they actually served a purpose in the story, and they actually did something to help the war effort, because they actually, Merry actually tricks the ants into joining the war, right, by showing them like a burnt forest that, like, you know, Saruman made, and like Saruman makes this face in the movie because because while his army is at like Helm's Deep, and Isengard, he's completely defenseless, and gets attacked by the ants, and they just wreck everything, man. They flood apparently there was like a dam, and they broke the dam and flooded Isengard, and like fucking Saruman's just on his in the top of his tower, just looking down. He's like, "What the fuck? I done goofed." Which, like, why didn't he join the battle and destroy, like, the ants? Like, maybe, like, you know, shoot, like, you know, like lightning or whatever. That's kind of the one thing I kind of hate about, like, you know, how they handled Saruman, because he like, you know, you only ever get to see him fight and use his powers in the first movie, and that's it. And, like, I think there's, like, a deleted scene in, like, the next movie where he just jumps off a tower and, like, impales himself on a spike. He just fucking kills himself. Oh, that's my alchemy pot. And it's like, what the fuck? And they could, maybe that's in the extended edition. I don't know. Oh, there's the Robo Center. Yeah, I mean, you get that by combining boxer shorts and the Cloak of Evasion, right? Okay. Where did it go? Oh, it always goes to Siegfried. Ah, goddamn. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the movie, and obviously it's a classic, right? And I'm giving it like a 9 out of 10. It's a fantastic movie, and like I forgot to mention, like, also what happens in the movie is, like, Frodo and Samwell are capture Gollum and convince him to, like, you know, help them, like, you know, like, help them, like, travel to Mordor, right? Which they run into, like, Faramir, from Gondor, right? Who is Boromir's brother, who gives them the sad news that Boromir died. How they knew about it, I don't know. They just found his, like, they just found, like, you know, his, like, the Horn of Gondor, which Randall in, like, Clerks 2 calls it the Torch of Gondor. It's like, how the fuck did you make that mistake? The Torch of Gondor. What was the line? What kind of girls into elves and swords and shit? And I wouldn't fuck them with the Torch of Gondor. Oh my god. That was in response to Elias saying, "Chicks dig Lord of the Rings, Randall." What kind of chicks are into elves, swords, and shit? I wouldn't fuck them with the Torch of Gondor. Torch of Gondor. Oh my. The Horn of Gondor, you fucking pleb. It's called the Horn of Gondor. Oh my god. Which, there's like a flashback scene with Boromir where you find out that, not the king, the steward of Gondor, who's in charge of Gondor, he, like, really loves Boromir but hates his son. His other son, Faramir, because, you know, Faramir, apparently there was, like, a city that got lost to, he was in charge of defending, a city, right, and, like, Faramir couldn't hold it, but, like, Boromir went in and, like, you know, with his army and retook the city, retake the city, I don't know. Oh, there's a treasure chest over there. So yeah, I kind of like that, because there was, like, kind of a bit of, like, a Stannis and, wow, what was the other Baratheon's, name? Oh my god. And Eddard Stark named one of his, Robert Baratheon. Right. There was kind of like a Robert and Stannis, like, you know, relationship. Though Stannis apparently hated, not Stannis. So Robert apparently didn't like Stannis. Right? He fucking gave like the castle Storm's End to, like, his youngest brother. Fucking A. Over Stannis. I don't know why I'm talking about Game of Thrones. Apparently, J.R.R. Tolkien's like, oh, like, there's like a video of George R. R. Martin. Where did you get that R.R. from, Martin? Huh? Like talking shit about J.R.R. Tolkien, right? Which I can't. I think I watched that video like a long time ago. He's like, "There's no sex in the Lord of the Rings." It's like, shut the fuck up, guy. Not everything needs like sex and nudity and like swearing and shit. Like, it's nice that Lord of the Rings is, and like Lord of the Rings was supposed to be like a wholesome like fantasy series, right? Like fucking A, man. And then like J.R.R. Tolkien was like, super Christian, so obviously he wanted to make a wholesome like, fantasy series, right? Which apparently I'm thinking of getting the Silmarillion, which is like the prequel to Lord of the Rings, right? Which is getting turned into like a TV series by Amazon. Ooh, a steel shield. Can I equip that? Okay, I can equip that. I'm gonna equip it for my guy. So yeah, obviously I really enjoyed the movie, and like I think you should watch it. Everybody should watch it. I'm trying to think of, was there any other cool shit in the movie? Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty much that was pretty much it. Also, I already mentioned they mentioned that Aragorn is actually 80 years old. It was like, what the fuck, dude? And like the excuse they give on why Aragorn like looks as young as he does, despite being 80 years old, is because he was a descendant of the king, and the king was part of this race of humans that like tended to live long. Probably, I'm guessing since he looks middle aged, we're gonna say maybe they probably lived like twice the like they probably lived like twice their lifespan is probably twice that of a normal person. So like 100, 100 and like 80 or to like 200 years old. Maybe I don't fucking know. Or not 180. Whatever. So, and also, yeah, there was a subplot where, like, Arwen and, like, the King of Rivendell, the elf, right, whatever his name is, played by Hugo was like, oh, you need to, like, dump my daughter because you're gonna die soon, and, like, you're gonna die eventually, and she'll be still around, and she'll be, like, mourning you for eternity, so, like, you should just let her go and let her be with her people in, like, the whatever land, there's a thing where the elves can transport to, like, this, like, mystical realm that's, like, their heaven or paradise or whatever, right? Which is, like, if they can do that, like, what the fuck, dude? Why even bother, like, like, helping the other races fight Sauron, right? I guess they kind of have, like, this I don't know, man, why they do it. They're supposed to be, like, the best of the races, right? So they're like, oh, we have a responsibility or whatever. Right. I don't know. Like I said, I really enjoyed the movie, and, I don't really have much to say. Is it worth watching? Also, yeah, there's, like, just like in the first movie, Peter Jackson has a cameo where he's in the Battle of Helm's Deep. He's like on top of a wall and he throws like a spear at an orc, right? Which he had like a cameo in like the town that like that Frodo and the other hobbits went into. I forget the name of the town. Somebody will remind me in the comments. Actually, probably not. So yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed the film. So I'm probably going to review The Return of the King next weekend, if possible. So, yeah, so, what do you guys, if you guys watch my, oh, fuck's sakes, half my party is dead. Good thing, I have, Angelo has, like, a spell to bring back people back to life, but it's, like, uses a lot of MP. And it's only, like, 50-50. Oh my god, Jessica. Okay, yeah. So, like, yeah, for my next Christmas month review, I'm thinking of reviewing either The Ref, which is a Dennis Leary, Kevin Spacey crime comedy film, which takes place on Christmas Eve, or the Nicolas Cage film, not Nothing But Trouble, Trapped in Paradise, which is also a Christmas movie. So let me know in the comments which which Christmas movie you guys want me to review next for Christmas month. And then after that, we're going to take a break and review, like,